Hey Scorpio, I hope that you're all doing well. I'm using the Light Seers Tarot for this reading. We're starting off with the Three of Pentacles. You can be getting involved in a collaboration. I see this being something that you want, or you can be working on something that you want to be working on. With the Three of Pentacles, you can be working with somebody on something, so like collectively you can be working on something. Three of Pentacles can also indicate that there could be something that you're studying or something that you're learning. I would see this being something that would feel like fun for you. You would feel happy about this. You would feel motivated. This is not like I'm doing this out of obligation. This would be more so like something that feels like thrilling or something that feels really heart-led for you to be doing. And I'm also seeing an Ace of Swords, so I wonder if this is helping you maybe like connect some dots. I don't know what dots this is connecting, but I see something like that. Like you may be uncovering some pattern too. So yeah, I'm seeing things are clicking for you. Maybe you're having a really good time doing something. Interesting, Ace of Swords in the Tower. I would see this as being like a really big epiphany that you could be having. I don't think that you're immediately going to jump into doing something with this though, because I am seeing Temperance. So this can be a huge realization that you're having, where like a huge realization, an epiphany, an awakening, a knowing of some sort that's coming up in a big way. I wonder if the catalyst of this seems like something that you're involved with that may have kind of like sparked this for you, like some experience that you were having, like somewhere where you've been doing something and it's kicking all of this off for you. But maybe Temperance is feeling to me like this is something that goes on. Maybe you don't immediately know how to integrate it, where you're like, okay, I'm seeing this, but then like, what do I do with that? Or what does that mean then? So maybe it's something where it's going to take some time to integrate this. You guys can be feeling frustrated. A couple different ways. It can be like maybe you're working with somebody and you're feeling frustrated trying to work with them, trying to work on things, trying to work things out, or trying to like even get somewhere, accomplish something. It can feel aggravating for you. It can just feel like a headache trying to work with this person. Something else can be that if you're trying to like learn something, work on something in that way, like maybe you're studying something, you can be maybe having a hard time with that too. But for some of you guys, you may be butting heads with someone at work even. It can be like at work, it can be at school, or it can be just somebody that you have to be interacting with, and there can be like some problem that you're having. I think this is an environment where it doesn't help that it's stressful. It would be a lot better if things were working more smoothly, but they're not really. But I'm also seeing you determined. So this doesn't look like one of those times where you're like, okay, this is hard and I'm just gonna bail out. I'm seeing you still there. Maybe this is starting to get in the way of something for you though. something that you want. You're like, I'm stuck over here. I have to be doing this. I actually want to be over there doing that. It's interesting because I didn't initially see it as like an obligation, but now it's kind of almost seeming like that. Like, I don't know if this is just, this is part of it. If I want to be doing this right now, this just comes with the territory and I have to deal with that. But I wonder for some of you guys, if you're like working on something here and you can feel like there's something that has to be addressed and it can be blocking access from something that you want. This looks like it would be an unexpected problem if that's the case. It can be like maybe you're working with somebody and you're like, we're not agreeing with one another. And it can be even about the simplest things that you're having issues with. But it feels like something or someone that you're meant to be working with, and like you should even have like some common language between the two of you, and it just feels like there's maybe a lack of symmetry there. You know, like maybe you guys are coming at it from two different places and it's feeling frustrating because of that. Whatever the dynamic or situation might be, it can be something where it's like we're supposed to be working together and I'm not really feeling like that's happening, or this is supposed to be like a welcoming environment and I'm not really getting the vibe of that here, or like there's supposed to be some cooperation but there can be a lack of that there. Like maybe there's some type of dissonance that's happening. I want to get more about this though. I almost get the feeling of like I want to be over there, but I'm here having to do this, and I'm like not really liking the way that this is going. Because you could even feel like something is like getting in the way of what you're trying to do. This looks like something that's been happening for a while. You may have different principles than whoever, whatever this is that you're working with. Yeah, I see a lot of fixed energy here. I'm seeing both Taurus and I'm seeing Leo coming out. So maybe you're just not on the same page, but for the Three of Pentacles, you kind of need to be on the same page, but Five of Swords can be indicating that you're not on the same page and it's not easy to get on the same page. And this can even be about like what you want and what you want to be happening, and maybe the other I'm just saying it's another person, but it can be so many other things, but it's just for the sake of communicating what I'm seeing. We can use that as an example of maybe you're trying to work with another person. Maybe you keep being like, I feel like they don't get it or they just don't understand. And it's like the simplest things. And like, why do I even have to explain this? So there can be this feeling of frustration. Like this is giving you a lot of difficulty. And then having Nine of Cups and having Page of Wands, this can be what you really want, but you can feel like you're not really getting what you want. And you can really be hoping for a breakthrough, but maybe there's been something that you've been needing to see. Because having Five of Swords, looking at Ace of Swords, this can be a moment when you have a realization about this situation and maybe see what the culprit of this frustration is. And maybe before there was some resistance to this. Like, Ace of Swords is feeling like seeing the big picture to me about this. I wonder too if having Five of Swords and having Nine of Cups, for those of you that you have another person involved, I wonder if your version of what you want and their version of what they want, it may not be in agreement with one another. Or it may not feel like that right now. Because this feels like it's a very complicated situation. And because of that, it can feel like the foundation is just crumbling now. Having Ten of Pentacles and having the Tower, it will feel like things are sort of falling apart now. Because it could be like they could want something, you could want something. It's feeling like those things are not like enmeshed with one another. It can even be like, I want this, no, I want this, and there's just this, like, we are not on the same page with one another. Or like, I want to do it like this, you maybe want to do it a different way. So now you can be stuck at a crossroads. I wonder if this is going to be, like, you may be in a situation actually where you're going to either have to like get on the same page and like have the same objective as this person and kind of like settle for what they want, or be like, no, I'm not doing that, and then you're going to have to do your own thing here. But either way, something is going to happen. You're at a crossroads with this. So it's like, can you be happy with the perspective of this other person and what they want and where they want to go, and that can be your thing? Or are you going to be like, I'm going to have resentment over this, and I wouldn't be being true to myself if I just did that. You may not have the answer to this right now. This looks like something that you're going to take the time to sit with. Like, maybe this is still something that you're figuring out. I see there's like a possibility that things could work, but there's also a possibility that they may not, but you could feel like you don't know yet. Right now you can be trying to work with them, you can feel really frustrated and be like, I don't even know if this is possible to like collaborate to an agreeable point. Because you know there's a difference between kind of like people pleasing the other person and then being in a place of resentment because you sort of betrayed yourself to agree with them because you didn't want to deal with like working things out. There can be like that approach to things. There can be an approach of, we're not going to be moving forward until we come to some sort of agreement here and we get on the same page. There could also be a point where you're like, I don't know if it's possible, like what we want may be too different from one another and we're not really going to get on the same page here. But I think like whether you can or you can't, that hasn't really been determined yet. Having Temperance above Six of Pentacles, you can be like, I don't know if this works or not. I don't know. It's like, I don't know if this, what is it? With the Six of Pentacles, having Temperance above it, there can be this question of whether or not things are compatible enough to feel functional. Or if the incompatibility is so much that this is not sustainable and that this becomes dysfunctional. But you cannot, there's something here about like maybe you don't know yet. Like maybe there's a part of you that's still trying to see from this other perspective and be like, maybe I could want that, or maybe I could be happy with that. You know, like there could be something going on where maybe you're not sure like where the boundary is. Maybe you're still trying to like compromise with this person and you feel like you don't know. Like right now I can see you can just straight up be feeling like this is a huge headache to be dealing with right now. And you have a choice to make. And it is coming down to what you want and what you're going to do. And you can very much be trying to find common ground with this person and work things out and see like whether or not this is sustainable. But I think the question really is, does what they want align with what you want enough that this is sustainable and can be harmonious? Or are you going to break free, which also looks like a possibility here that you could be doing? Because maybe whatever is like available in the connection, it may not be enough of what you're wanting and enough of what you're looking for. But all of this seems like it's kind of up in the air and that you need to inquire more about this, which is a great thing for you to have the task of doing that, because Scorpio is known for investigating. That is a huge aspect of what the sign is connected with. It's like finding out the truth, getting to the center of things. Like investigating until you like pull this whole thing apart and you understand it, and then you'll know what to do from there. But you cannot hide from the truth. That's the one thing. Like, you're gonna have to want to find the truth in order to get the true answer for yourself. So now can be about doing exactly that. And it seems like it's worth it to you to try to do that, because this can be something where like I spent a lot of time investing in this, and I don't want to just like let it go like that. But you're gonna have to figure out if you can be happy with this or not, and like give yourself the real answer about that. And you're gonna have to want the truth more than anything in order to actually find the answer. Because for some of you, you're gonna realize that you will have resentment, and it can just be some like attachment to this situation and the familiarity of this that's keeping you there, but you're not really going to be satisfied and happy within this because it's not compatible enough with your values to be functional and sustainable. For others of you, you may come to a different conclusion, but having Page of Swords feels like you don't have enough information yet. Maybe you can feel to do this, and I think this is information about you and what you want, because I think you already know what the other person is showing up with. I think where you may not be doing enough digging can be specifically about what you want and whether or not this dynamic conflicts with what you truly want in your heart. And if you're really being true to that, is what you want, once you fully understand that, possible here? Is this fertile ground for that? Or is this something that cannot support that? So you can even be focusing less on this other person or whatever's on the other side of this and more on you, because maybe there are things that you want that you're not even clear on, and you're like, oh, I didn't even like do enough self-inquiry to know if this is like a good match or not. So this can be something that you end up doing for yourself. And I think that you're going to have a very important realization that's going to give you the answer of whether or not this is viable for you. Okay? All right, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting and tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.